this time I discovered I didn't like the game as much as I hoped. I mean, it's still a good game. Don't get me wrong, but could have been better. Could have been so much better. This twist kind of just... Exciting start. We didn't fight for 2 hours. Let's rest.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. but I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
That is awkward. That was awkward. That was very, very awkward.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Sorry, I don't like that ship. Don't like it at all.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Xion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
That music had no reason to be that beautiful. Absolutely not.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Well, that's all Hevrek said. That was a monster. sorry. I just need to have some fun. Some way.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Yes, I think so too.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Should've just shut up.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renaissance using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shionne's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shionne's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
That was still not done.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renins, Dahnans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as character.
It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Alright. Everyone thought that I was going to do the finale. I fooled you. I fooled all of you!
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renins inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renins to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Poodle. God damn, I feel
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Just maybe we're all actually the same. I don't know. But there are some quests open, so... Hey, might as well do that. Yes, I've tricked you all. It's gonna be a side quest now.
Always good to be back in familiar territory. I wonder if something happened. Yeah!
Uh-huh.
Yeah! Just great.
I guess... Thanks.
Great.
Huh?
Well... All right.
Huh? Uh-huh.
All right.
I guess.
Whew.
Got it.
You want to get them on to take it down. Go figure.
I think Hootle senses something.
You're mine! Not a chance!
We won that by a mile.
Right, here goes!
Handle
You're my turn!
Oh,
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Now!
Come forth, holy glimmer!
Looks like it could be worth something.
I'll find him.
Out of my way!
My fists are crushing it out there!
Little help!
Not a chance!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I've barely worked up a sweat. This will be a delicious piece of
My
cake.
turn! My turn! Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Just as the game stopped. Yes, probably also very brutal.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zugolin that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zugul pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zugul's gone, right? So what does it matter? Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zugul like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zugul, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
I'd steer clear of that Zugul if I were you.
Damn. That weak, huh?
I've got a really bad feeling about this. Hurricane Blade! If I do!
Here I come!
With that shell hiding something dangerous. This one is mine. My head's
You picked
spinning
the wrong
just
fight!
watching you.
Its armor's too strong.
You're so big.
Be my guest! You're mine! Rising light!
Denied.
Astral Art?
That's my cue.
Never miss.
Shut him down!
Hurricane strike. Lightning strike. Hurricane strike. By the power of piercing roar!
Get on in there with them!
No escape!
Lightning
Mirage! You're mine! I'm not...
Searing tempest!
You're mine! Slack! Swallow blade!
Piercing roar! Yeah! Look shot! Ready to go! Lightning! Get far enough!
This
This
one's all
one's mine!
Eat dirt!
I can carve through armor! I can't get out of this!
Shield! Gemini Aqua! Radiant Pierce! I'll heal you all!
You're mine!
Radiant
Swallow
Pierce!
blade! Slack!
Let me out!
Rising Viper! Soda!
I'm nearly done for. Going in! Lightning strike! Piercing roar!
You're mine! Slack! Swallow blade!
Lightning strike!
There you go! Don't let
Try
up!
harder!
By the power
Now!
of water!
Crush! Burn!
Steel Force!
You're mine!
Healing Art!
Swallow blade!
Seal!
Thanks! Rising Viper!
Crescent Moon!
Rising Phoenix!
Got it! Now's our chance!
Armor won't save you! No further!
You're finished!
Havoc!
I'm ready to reload!
Glacial Spear! That'll bring you down! I can handle it! Far enough!
I'm not done! Soda!
Havoc! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malika! This one's
Art
mine!
Expert coming through! Confiscated! Healing Circle!
Glacial Fire!
Glacial
Make it rain!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hear me! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy
Take
Spirit!
this!
Holy Light!
Slack! Swallow blade! Eat dirt!
Time to shine!
Crush!
Healing Art! It's about to
Now,
strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Strike!
Prepare to be seized!
Havoc!
Raging Storm! Here! Glowing Light! Lightning! Dazzling Surge!
Time to shine! Hear my call!
Water Astral Energy!
Havoc! Burning! Burning! Fight! Nothing can find me!
I call upon thee!
Here I come!
Far enough!
I'm not done!
I can carve through armor! Can't get out of this!
No escape!
Here I come!
It's over!
It looks like you got this one covered!
Going in!
You're mine! Eat dirt!
Radiant Light!
Anything in armor is going on! Never see what I can do!
Outstanding form! I'll be saving this
The
one!
power of light!
Here's the healing art! First aid!
You're mine!
Light up the dark!
Rising Viper!
Let me out!
Soda!
All right!
You're mine! I'm not done! It's over! Sonic Thrust!
Power of light!
Take this!
Waterfall!
I'm ready to go!
Strike!
Freeze Lancer! Dance in the wind!
Their arms are interrupted! Igneous! Take off!
I'm not done!
Glacial
I'm not done!
So now
You
you're
picked
getting
the wrong
serious?
Just what I need!
Here I come!
I know you, Theon. Healing is what my arts do best.
Armor won't save you!
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Try harder! Not a chance! You require a hand.
Illuminate the dark! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
I could do without this pain. I'm not
This
done!
one's mine!
Strike!
Ready and ready!
Let me help!
Rising Viper!
Armor won't save you! Too
Take
shy
this.
to come over? Here, let me
It's
help!
on!
Come on!
Rising Viper!
Reload!
Soda!
Here's a healing art!
Not today!
Ready and ready!
This one is almost in the back!
We're not done yet. We're going back.
Then it's time for you to do what you do best!
Far enough!
You're mine!
Time to shine!
Rising Viper!
Hurricane Blast!
You're on!
Havoc! And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Try harder! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Searing flame! Reload! Get out of there with the others! Into the shadows! Steel! Annihilation! Get out of there with the others! Back into the fray!
Now you see what I can do! That'll bring you down!
Alright! It's go time!
Can't get out of this!
Ready is blood!
Escape! You're on!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
Lunar blast!
Sparta! Anything in armor is all mine! I can carve through armor!
Here's a healing potion!
Here I come!
One more time!
I don't feel so hot.
You should sit this one out then.
And miss all the fun. No way.
Escape!
Ringwell!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Huh? What's a letter doing in a place like this?
Hell if I know. I highly doubt that Zoogle was trying to guard it. Still, somebody must have left it for some... Law.
Huh? What's up?
Something up?
It's from my old man. My dear son, I wonder how things will be between us by the time you read this.
In any case, I first want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished. Making it this far requires a strong body, fine technique, an unwavering spirit, and most of all, friends that you can count on. If you have all of that, then I, as your father, have nothing to worry about. Those things together will always keep you on the right path. That brings me to what I really wish to discuss with you. As with all of us, there will someday come a time when you'll be a grown man who can and must think and act for himself. Whether you'll live in a world where blood will no longer be spilled between Dahnans and Renans, or when that day arrives, nobody can say. But even if peace still eludes us then, you'll have to decide how to live in this world. Listen to others with an open heart, but don't be swept away by their words. Always live on your terms. One more thing. If I ever see you again, I hope to say this to you in person, but neither of us knows what tomorrow may bring. Know this. Whatever you think of me, and what I've done, your mother and I love you very, very much.
And there's nothing in this whole world that will ever change that. Your father, Zephyr.
Zephyr.
I can't believe he's only telling me all this after he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this?
Zephyr once told me that living freely meant being your own master. I think he wanted to make sure you know how he felt one way or another. What you do with that knowledge is up to you.
But that still doesn't explain why his father left that letter for him here, of all places.
Don't forget, we were led to this place. We may well get some answers if we go back to the source of all this.
Well, that at least did the trick to,
forgive you! Is every shield you own that big?
Here, you want to try holding it?
Ugh. How do you even walk with this thing?
Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
Hi, Hoodle!
This! My turn!
As impressive as always.
Ah, and here I hoped I was improving.
My fists are crushing it out there!
Seriously? Is this a joke? Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu. Out of my way!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push.
Let's do this together, Alphen.
No, I'm
Sometimes I wonder where you come up with those moves.
I could say the same to you.
Good thing we're on the same side, huh?
You guys want to rest here?
ominous eyebrows. That's weird as hell. Yeah, I kind of skipped the
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
just a minute.
Why are you staring at me?
I could ask the same thing.
So this is how the Sovereign and Maiden are supposed to look. You two go great together.
Law, come stand between us.
Oh, sure. You want me to put something white on as well?
Of course she doesn't.
Take a closer look, Shion. It's a miracle.
What are you talking about?
This outfit, it's already got blue accents on it.
So I see.
I love how much amazing food we get to eat even when we're out on the road.
Me too, especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver spoon elite for you.
Your cooking has really improved, Shion.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious. Very curious indeed.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on. I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Shion here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions as of late. Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that...
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
Nothing. Shion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. It was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
Yeah, but I don't have any boss fish. Sadly.
That turned out good, if I do say so myself. Shionne, could we talk a moment?
Hey, do you have time to talk? There's something I need to ask you.
Of course. What's up?
It's about the doll I used to have as a little girl. I gave it some more thought, and I still don't remember actually receiving it from anyone.
You were so little. I don't think it's that surprising you've forgotten, is it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. That doll was so old, I'm starting to think I just always had it with me from the start. I know that it's extremely unlikely, but after last time we talked, it got me thinking. Maybe you brought the doll that child made with you to Lenegis.
I couldn't be.
Are you saying you didn't? Look, logically speaking, I know it's a lot more likely that you didn't bring it with you than you did. But you can't say for sure you didn't, right? Crazier things have happened. I always thought I'd be alone, only to end up meeting you, and Law, and Rinwell, and Kisara, and Dohalim. Sometimes things happen in life that we never thought possible.
You make a good point. I left everyone and everything I knew behind 300 years ago. But now, I'm not so alone anymore.
Exactly. You crossed all those centuries to find all of us, so...
Why can't a little doll have made the same jump too?
Right? Look, it's up to you to decide if there's any meaning behind all of this. But I choose to think there is.
Yeah, I think so too. There's something beautiful about the whole thing that simply can't be denied.
Oh, yes, there is.
I think it's time we go to sleep.
I can deny it all I want. Stop me from doing that.
Morning. Ready to head out?
Well, I might as well. Go!
Hoo hoo hoo! Hoo! Hoo hoo hoo!
That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Maybe you can get something else out of it.
We've reached our destination.
Alright, you two. Pay up.
Hey.
Hey. I guess... No way. Damn. Whew. All right.
This is...
Thanks.
Good stuff.
You okay, Law? You seem kind of quiet.
I'm fine. Just feels a little weird returning home now that my dad's not here, I guess. Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out too.
So I guess that means you'll be visiting your dad's grave while you're here. Right, Law?
His grave? What are you, nuts? There is no grave. The Rena would only destroy it the moment they found it.
Back before Calaglia was liberated, dead slaves would be dumped in mass burial sites. Either that or thrown on top of a bonfire. We got used to cremating our own to deny them the pleasure. Then we'd sprinkle the ashes from high up as a way of returning them to the motherland.
It's all we could do. That's the ceremony we had when my mom died, too.
But that was back then, right? Calaglia is liberated now. There's nothing to stop you from raising a true grave anymore.
I suppose you've got a point. Once you've been doing something for generations, though, it sort of begins to take root. It's a tradition of its own now.
My dad wouldn't want that anyway. Cheap and simple, he'd say. Besides, I can't treat him differently than my mom. They might not end up meeting on the other side.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow, imagine. The two of them reunited, back home where they belong. They're probably watching over us right now, At one with great Dana. There's something almost poetic about it.
That's why I can't afford to screw up. If I know my pops, something as paltry as death won't stop him from coming to box my ears. Still, better than being left alone, I guess. Better than never knowing. You hear that, Dad? I'll make you proud. You'll see.
Just need to... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Carry over whatever stuff you're gonna... Yes. Guys, that's so... Oh well. That's here. Also exactly where? Yes, I'm first going to run for the owl.
Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
You did! What the hell was in there?
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I sense a strange power from this.
That's nice that you can get much easier. What the next game? As if I'm going to play this. Not exactly sure, but...
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow! Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cyslodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hootle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hootle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hootle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hootle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hootle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hootle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing.
I don't make the rules up.
This shall be a feast for the senses.
think Hootle senses something.
Who?
I see you've got your relics all lined up again. What are you doing? Huh? They're so bright now.
Oh, it's you two. I was merely tending to my collection.
Don't you think you've polished them enough by now?
You take better care of your relics than you do yourself.
I try to take good care of them. However, no matter how much work I put in, they refuse to respond.
I thought you could hear their voices somehow.
I can, but that's all I can do with them. I can't actually engage in conversation with them. Not yet.
What are they saying? Did they really want you to polish them that much?
You're right. I was so enraptured with them, I may have selfishly failed to consider their own wishes. I must open my mind and sincerely engage with them in earnest.
He never gets tired of his relics, does he?
Nope. It is interesting to look at them when they're all lined up together like this, though. Like how these two have similar designs. It makes me wonder if they were made in the same period.
An excellent observation. Yes, I too suspect they're somehow intimately related as well.
I don't see what you two are talking about at all.
Hmm? What's this? Why, that smear wasn't there previously. Could it be responding to my voice at long last? It's rather viscous and has a distinct aroma to it.
Ugh, Hootle! These relics are no place for you to do your business! I'm serious! These are priceless pieces of history!
Come on, Dohalim. Let's go wash your hands before you catch anything weird.
This shall be a feast for the senses.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back.
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess... it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but... I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Xion, but that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Dahnan are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zeugl?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zeugl or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shion's decision to revolt, the Dahnan uprising in Calaglia, the crown contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time. The fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zoogle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
Hey, Kisara, what's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia. Though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord we met in Vicente was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
As spoken by a very wise woman.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Who? Who? I sense a strange power from this.
That's okay. Can't do that one. Well, I can do it, but I don't want to.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
We just kill it like this for.
Oh?
Right.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zeugles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
Oh, I only got one vote.
We've reached our destination.
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kind of pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yeah, it kinda makes you hard to talk to. So, what's bothering you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
Snuck its way into the back of my boot. I can't seem to get rid of it.
Oh, I totally get you. Weird how much it can get on your nerves, huh?
Yeah, it's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Shionne.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome. That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
He wants to get angry, but knows that doing so would only prove our point. Hence the building frustration showing plainly on his face.
Would you stop analyzing things for 1 minute?
Point taken.
course this one. Need to kill a certain Zookle on this island and then...
Okay, off we go.
Isn't that Almadria's?
So this is where her ship drifted.
Then the one who wrote the letter is...
Alive, but badly wounded. I doubt many of the others have survived.
Let's survey the area.
Let's dispose of the trash.
No escape! Rising Wyvern!
Leave this one's mine!
Make it rain!
This is it, Hanson!
I'll take out the legs with my shield.
Rimrow! Frozen!
Hammer!
Next time, do you think we could add some more flames into the mix?
Huh? It's not that easy to adjust, you know.
Right, here goes!
Hurricane strike! Lightning strike!
You're on!
Piercing
No
roar!
escape!
Insects should stay on the ground.
We
The
managed to
airborne
turn the
scoundrel.
tide!
For now,
Good job for yours
things could
truly!
shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert.
A comfortable win.
We should be able to cook here.
Yes, but also why?
Gotta break through! Here I come! Rising Wyvern!
Far enough!
You're mine!
You are a
Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Out of my way!
Take this! Slash! Swallow Blade! Demon
Do it! Lightning
This
arm!
one's mine!
This one's all mine!
Strike!
Are those arms
You've got a
your
knack for battle.
I still plan on training though.
That's what I like to hear.
As impressive as always.
Ah, and here I hoped I was improving.
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
There's something in the water.
What's with that shining foe over there?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Rising Wyvern!
Where are you going? Going
You're
if nothing
mine!
gets by
You're
me.
on! That fussing is driving me mad!
Make it rain!
This one's mine.
Lightning strike!
You don't have firearms here on
Got
Danos.
flyers!
I got it.
All yours!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Rising Wyvern!
These things really get on my nerves.
Get behind me!
Now!
Flying freaks!
What did we just do? You don't have firearms here on
Can you
Danos.
take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Rising Wyvern!
Now!
Come on! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Get lost!
Can't get out of...
We've
turn the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Now!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen. Everyone okay?
Like this should be easy. Come one, come on!
Spear!
Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
If they rush you gotta just recover, okay?
Prepare to be sealed! You're finished!
Glacial fire!
Demon
Do
Fang!
it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Having astral arts must be tremendous.
They're not all that great, really.
Just imagine. Tornado Duster! Pinewood Polish!
They can do more than remove stains, you know.
Hello, stuff up here.
It's you.
Lord Dohalim.
I figured I'd find you here, Kelzalik.
You knew he'd be here?
The handwriting on the note was all too familiar to me.
Did you come all the way out here to mock me, or have you changed your mind about putting me to death?
What if I had?
You have no right. You who abandoned your lordly duties and chose to fraternize with embeddeds of all people! And for what? How could someone as powerful as yourself turn your back upon the crown contest?
Not this again.
I ran from this once, but I must face it now. The crown contest was never for me. I apologize for dragging you along, but I do not regret my choice in the slightest. Listen to me, Kelzalik. People change. They can change given time, and regardless of their race. I know you're a capable man. You could do so much for others if you were so inclined.
Me? Impossible. It's too late for me. Death. Death closes in on me wherever I go.
What?
That's Almetrius.
Is she alive too?
It's death!
Has this thing become even more ruthless?
There's nothing more fearsome than a wounded beast.
Especially without its master.
Well, I'm not leaving it to its own devices. This one's mine.
The flashing part's their weak point. I'll heal
Look
you
sharp,
all.
here I come.
Champion?
Will this help?
Rising light!
Far enough!
Pieces! Attack time!
Healing
Can't get out of this!
In
Just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Illuminate the sun! Tiger Blade! Holy Lance! Lunar Blast!
Here I come! Strike! Mirage! Here I come! Swallow Blade!
I never miss!
Swallow Blade!
Hurry!
Light! Stay away from my friend!
Burn!
Going in.
Here I come!
Inferno Crossing!
Mirage! Take this!
Take this! Here goes!
Swallow Blade! Strike! Try my turn!
Burning Strike! Hurricane Storm!
Try harder! Time to let it rip! Demon! This is looking good! Demon Fang!
Now you see what I can do! In a bind?
Rising Wiper! Take this!
Here's a hero!
Mirage! I'm not done!
Glacial Fire!
Take this!
Inferno! Denied!
Swallow Blade! Eat dirt!
Searing Flame!
Look sharp!
You're mine! Swallow Blade!
Going in!
First
I'm not
aid!
done!
Their arts were interrupted!
Let the marksman handle
Look
this!
sharp!
Inferno! Bring you back from death to this! Blah, blah, blah! I'll heal you all!
Tiger Blade!
Swallow Blade!
I never miss! This one's weakened!
This ends now! Swallow Blade!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil! This one's Blazer! Not in your dreams!
No further!
Here, let me help beyond the blockade! I call upon thee!
Tiger Blade!
No escape!
Flame!
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Reload!
You're finished!
Get on in there with
You can do the hand.
Photon Flash!
Ignite! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Swallow Blade!
Warrior Side! Reload! In here!
My head's spinning just one second.
You're finished!
Take this! Inferno Crossing! Armor won't save you!
This one's
Can't
mine.
get out of this!
Crumble.
Sleep now! Healing Circle! Get on in there!
I could do without pain! Try harder! I owe you one!
All day!
Here I come! Not today!
How about this?
Here I come!
Healing Circle!
Swallow Blade!
Thanks, Seal.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. You bet.
Hold on to your art! Here I am! Here!
Here, let me help.
Don't leave me!
Make it rain.
Seal!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
I'll bring you back from death to dreams!
It's go time!
Hurricane Strike!
I'll
Recuperate!
crash you! Take this!
Here, let me help.
Not
First
done
aid
yet!
enemy is going all out! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! Spread! Magic is there!
I like my guard
Leave
down.
now!
You're mine! Swallow Blade!
Lightning stems! Thunder Blade! Too much to handle? Illuminate the top! Magic is there! Crazy
Here I come!
cascade!
Swallow Blade!
Rising Wiper! Here! Malevolent! Out of ammo! Hurricane
Here I come!
Strike! You're all in here! I won't stop!
I won't give up. Come on.
It's so
Ready and ready! I can carve through armor! In a...
What was I thinking?
Handle it. Here, let me walk like this.
You picked the wrong fight!
Holy Lamp! Bring you back from
You're
death to
mine!
this.
Strike! Slash! Let's try harder!
Oh, sparkling stars of light!
That's-
Rain down on
Here
your mind!
Flaming meteor!
No escape!
Not in your dreams!
Rising Wiper!
Time to
Shut us!
Here's your rain!
Mirage!
Happy
Circle! Try harder!
Magic is there!
Light up the dark.
Rising Wiper! Try harder! Not a chance! I'm not done!
Guys, where are you going? Now's our chance! We shall!
Swallow Blade!
Here's a healing art!
Rising Wiper! Yours to be let free!
Luna!
You're mine!
Luna Blast! Lightning!
Here I come!
Smash
you! No further!
Field!
You're mine!
Get on it! Here's a healing art! This
You're
one's
mine!
mine!
Swallow blade!
Going in!
You're mine!
How about this? One shot!
You're mine!
Having fun!
Crush!
You're
Demon Fang! Try harder! My turn! I'm not done! Swallow blade! Swallow blade! Kick!
Here I come! Lightning!
Ignite! You're mine! I'm not done! You're on! You're mine! No! Can't end here!
Don't give up!
Thanks, Xion. I'll bring you back from depths a bit. Appreciate the help.
Resuscitate! Here, let me help!
Not done yet!
Dance in the wind!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher!
We've got him on the run!
Don't get caught!
Right. Still anyone's fight. Swallow blade! I'll smash you! No further!
There you go! Don't let up! The enemy is doing loud!
Demon Fang!
I'm all stuffed up! Annihilating orb!
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone! Hurricane strike! Raging storm! Lightning! Healing circle! Hurricane flying!
I owe you for that.
You'll pay for that! Here I come! This one's all mine!
Burning strike!
This one is mine.
Red! Better!
Take this!
Burn in hell!
Grounded power!
Here I come!
Block denied! Now you see what I can do! Can't get out of this! Thank you for all your help. Please, don't mention it. I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
Try harder!
Lightning
My
orb!
time will
Hurricane strike!
Not now! Not! Can't move!
Light up the door! I never miss! I'm ready to Lightning orb! Not on my watch! Raging cascade! I'll bring you back from death to death! Blah, 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 and steel! Get on in there with the others!
Not done yet!
Let me out!
Try harder!
Alright, let me out!
You're mine! Rising water!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Tough beastie.
There!
Would you come with us? We can take you someplace safe.
To where? Where could I possibly be safe from that?
What are you talking about? We already took care of the monster.
No! Death is immortal by its very nature. Even now it haunts me. It hounds me. The Silver Death curses me incessantly with its many faces, many voices. Don't follow me. Leave me be. Leave me alone! Ah!
What's happened to him?
Whatever it is, it seems we have read the situation wrong.
He spoke of a silver death. Do you think he could be referring to the people back in Vicente that he hollowed?
He did so at Almeidria's urging. I'm sure that somewhere deep down, he felt guilt and remorse for what he did. It was easy to blame it all on Almeidria while she was alive. But now that she's gone, he has no one left but himself to blame for his own misdeeds. He's alone with his guilt on this island.
But it sounds like he lacked the mental fortitude to endure it.
Makes sense. Sounds like just desserts to me.
Almeidria's monsters had nothing to do with it then.
So he was a Renan, yet he regretted his part in the Dahnan's persecution. And now he's beyond help.
Should we really just wash our hands of him, though?
To be honest, It seems like he's punished himself far more than any punishment we could hope to mete out. Dohalim.
If I hadn't met all of you, No, even after that. If I hadn't accompanied you on this journey, it's entirely possible that might have been me.
But you did. You're here with us now. And you didn't stumble upon redemption, Dohalim. This is the path you chose for yourself.
Yes, I suppose it is.
There we go.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I got it.
Got what?
I can chop up vegetable scraps and use them in the seasonings.
Should've known that's what it was gonna be about.
This shall be a feast for the senses.
As well see if there's something. We're having all the owls now.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Just a big giant one sticking out. One last time. I just can't help but laugh at it.
It's like we've assembled every single owl in Dana.
You know, looking at them all, I think we very well may have. Talk about a spectacular sight.
Yeah. His Majesty and Her Majesty both seem pleased as well.
When she's all alone, her thoughts drift to sad places. I did all this so that she could have lots of friends and live happily ever after.
Hey, I get a little grumpy sometimes.
I'm interpreting for the owls, not talking about you.
Well, at least Hootle isn't alone anymore, right?
Right. Hey, Hootle? Hootle, I think you should stay. If you keep traveling with us, it's going to be constant fighting, and you'll be put in a lot more danger. But this is a safe place, filled with lots of friends for you. Plus, you can learn lots of new stuff with friends. Just like all the new things I've gotten to learn since I met Alphen and everyone else. All I could teach you was to jump from twig to twig. But now look at you. You're soaring to new heights. You can go wherever you want on your own now. So, stay here and be with your friends, okay?
Are you sure about this?
Hey, I didn't mean for you to.
It's okay. I made up my mind. We stuck with each other for as long as we did because we had no one else to depend on. Now, it's for the best we stay among our own kind. Take care of yourself, Hootle.
Absolute bullshit.
Hootle? Hootle, no! Your friends are that way! Why can't you understand?
I think he's trying to say, I don't abandon my friends.
Huh?
Hootle has his own wings. If he wanted to leave, he could have left whenever he wanted to.
He can come back to this place whenever he wants to. But right now, what he wants is to be with you.
It's true that his own kind is here, and he knows that. But he won't know if you'll always be around, Rinwell.
But, I mean...
Just let him stay.
I think he's asking you whether you really want him to go.
No! Of course I don't really want him to go! Hootle's the only family I have left!
Then it's settled.
Hootle has a place to go home to whenever he wants, and that'll never change things between you.
Are you sure about this, Hootle?
Take care of our friend.
I pray your journey is a safe one.
Okay, enough already.
Thank you. Try to be nice to one another, your majesties.
Well, what's the answer?
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll both take care of each other.
I meant the owl's answer.
Let's go, Hootle!
Yeah, the good ending. That's a perfectly fine, happy ending this time. Though I'll never have to hunt another owl. Guess there's that. What do you have on the enemy? So Masmold was just a regular enemy. Ooh, but he was level 59. Didn't pay attention to that. But yeah, grown quite powerful that way. The Thunderite. Oh, I forgot that the Glutton's guidebook is literally just Pac-Man. Ah, amazing. Just amazing. all good, but they're very hard to complete. If nothing else, I should first do that other one I can find. First head to a place that I can actually rest up at.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads. I feel like somebody's watching us.
Right.
Zaxleo Temple. Isn't that where Shion was being held?
Shh. Wasn't it beautiful? I can't wait for this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Just great.
Cheers!
Cheers! What? Nice try, you two. Better
Never. Why?
Wait. Something's wrong.
Oh god.
I couldn't catch it. I'll always be alone.
Oh no. This is just like what happened before. Alphen!
I'm alone. I'm alone.
What can I do to get her to snap out of it? There aren't any thorns this time. Oh, I've got it!
Alphen?
Oh!
Shion, you're not alone. You've got all of us. And it wasn't just one bouquet either. There's also this one from me. So please, don't give up. We'll fight this together. Shion!
You dummy! That's not what I was upset about. How many times do I need to tell you not to blindly rush into things? That said, it does make me feel better. Even if your bouquet is just a weapon named after one.
I'm just glad I could help. And I made another one to go with it, so it wouldn't be lonely either.
You never cease to amaze me, Alphen. Seriously.
Alright.
Feeling better now, Xion?
I'm sorry I lost my cool like that.
Don't worry. It's not like I have any room for criticism.
Being a grown-up isn't easy, is it?
Oh, no it isn't. This one actually is strong.
We've reached our destination.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Hey! Are you insane? What the hell were you thinking? I thought we were gonna die!
One simply needs to be bold and act with conviction in times such as these.
Did you know it was gonna be safe before you jumped? Because I sure didn't.
More or less. I figured there would likely be a basin here akin to most such waterfalls.
Don't just make people jump off cliffs on a hunch!
This is no place to fish, is it?
Are we ever gonna finish climbing this ladder?
We're climbing a considerable height. It's only natural that it will take some time.
That's not the problem here!
We are getting closer to the top, aren't we?
You've just got to keep your spirits up, Rimwell. Positive thinking is everything.
Gotta break through! Take this! Slice! Rising Weather! Take this!
Drinking orb! Illuminated
Come
here!
Switch
It's a duel of the arts!
You're mine!
Powered up!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Wow! Look what I just found.
Gotta break through!
Swallow Blade!
Now you see what I can do!
Is it high? Dispatch it out again!
Your skills are formidable. They belie your youth.
Really?
Can't
It's
get
my
out of
art
this!
you should be thanking.
Give yourself more credit. Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
Are those two discussing relics again?
Then it's a promise.
Indeed it is.
Law, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh, Kisara. It's nothing. It's just sneaky over there. I heard something about a promise.
A promise? If it has to do with relics, then what?
Wait. You don't think they're gonna ditch us to become treasure hunters, do you?
I really doubt that.
You never know. He's pretty damn crazy for those relics of his.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd make things difficult for you if they just up and disappeared on us, right?
Yeah, that'd cause some problems.
We've got to do something to stop them.
Hey, what if we collected all of the relics ourselves?
That's it! Then they wouldn't have to go anywhere!
We might not be able to hear them talk like he can, but we can still search for them anywhere that looks likely.
Yeah, between the two of us, I'm sure we won't miss a single one.
Speaking of which, why are you so concerned about them taking off?
Huh? Well, you see...
This is going to be so great!
Indeed. Once we're finished, we can hold it in the palace.
A Dahnan Relic Exhibition!
I'll let you serve as our exhibit guide, Rinwell.
Right! I'll study up so I can answer any question they throw at me.
And, if you could, please ensure that Hootle stays far, far away from the exhibits.
Who?
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's...
I'm gonna see what I need
It's
to
a
do
bit
for
of an
those.
exaggeration, though.
I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head's spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know! I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Xion, stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Welcome back, Law.
Alright, just checking out a few things. Not a really Gigant attack actually. Oh well. I'll get it done.
Hey.
Yes.
Just great.
How's this?
Got it.
Hey! Yay!
All right. Hey! Yes! Right.
Sure.
I don't believe this! Ah! Okay! Great! Good. Nice work. Ah!
But this is...
Wow.
Toast!
This is... Yes!
Oh!
Amazing! Nice work. Very nice. Thanks. Yes!
Back we go.
We've reached our destination.
Hey.
Yes. Oh.
Yay! What? Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
There we go.
We avoided getting roasted in that ring. But what we could really use is something to cap this off.
Sure. Got any ideas on what would be good?
Mabo curry. Fried bread stuffed with curry.
You'd probably buy out the whole stock.
Actually, probably would. Alright.
We finally made it.
You see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing.
Yeah, boy.
Yes.
Excuse me!
Really now.
What?
I see. Agreed.
Very nice.
That's the first one.
Dohalim, the line of researchers is getting longer.
Perhaps I should have put more thought into this before accepting.
Well, might as well just do a little search on Rena.
Finally.
I wonder what Hilganquil's civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Hilganquil! Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Rising Wyvern!
Hurricane
Miran! Here I come! Demon Fang!
How about this?
I'm not done!
Hurricane
Now I can let loose!
Burning
My armor won't save you!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Got it!
Well done!
You're mine! It's on!
What would we ever do without you, Kisara?
You've got a whole team to rely on.
Yeah, well, maybe apart from one individual. You're feistier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
No matter, feel it.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Go! Let's hope that's the last of them.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years, oh, even before that, just how many people, Renan or Dahnan, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
A 6-armed giant. Is this the Zeugl from the request?
It's not only alive, but completely uninjured.
We'll just have to see for ourselves if it's really as ferocious as they say.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Go! I'll take the brunt of the tip.
Rising Wyvern!
Go for the weak point! Anything in armor is all mine. First aid!
Burn in hell!
Appreciate the help. Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Arch Field! Freeze Laser!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Good! I'll leave it to you! Rising Wyvern! Take it! Look! Eat this dog! Eat dirt!
Attack time!
You're mine! Struck! Demon Fang! No escape!
Radiant Weird! Step charge!
Rising Wyvern!
Armor won't save you! Take this!
Inferno Crossing!
You're mine!
This'll come in
It's
handy!
on! No escape! You picked the wrong fight!
Worth a shot.
No escape! I'm not done!
Do it! Ridwell! Frozen!
Hammer!
Illuminate with my arm!
No escape!
Swallow Blade! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Struck! Demon Fang!
Here it comes. Focus.
On your toes, everyone! Healing circle!
All right.
Try harder!
Holy land!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare to Malisa!
All disasters may one! Come down! Water! Here I call!
Rising Wyvern!
Glacial Heart! Burning Glacial Spear! Here's one's alive! Freeze Laser! Dance in the wind!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
In here!
Not to pieces!
Try harder!
Burning
My turn! Here I come! Ignite!
Here's evil! Queen Circle!
Strike!
Freeze Laser!
You're on!
Illuminate the
You're
sky!
mine! Demon Fang!
Holy land!
Eternal devastation!
Mega Ray!
Struck!
Denied!
Not in your dreams!
Swallow Blade! You require a hand.
Standing form!
In a bind?
This one is almost in the bag.
Not done yet. Just falling back.
Then it's time for you to do what you do best.
Not today!
There you go! Don't let up!
You're finished!
Mega Ray!
You're off!
Take this!
Take this! My astral energy!
Can't get out of this!
Partial leveling!
It's
So
gonna
now you're getting serious? Shield and face!
I'm not done!
Hurricane Flight!
I owe you one.
Shattering the pieces! And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
This one's all mine! Eat dirt!
Now or never.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Well, we beat it in the end. Let us harvest what we can use and take it with us.
Built for the sake of it and then cast aside. How sad.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is it... This a dead end?
Appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Can't get out of this! Swallow Blade! I can shatter any steel!
To the flame!
Swallow Blade!
You don't have firearms here in Venice. Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Make it rain! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Glacial Spear. Here's Evo.
You're on! Take it!
Hurricane Strike.
Now!
Lightning Strike. I never miss. Clutch. Hurricane Strike.
Strike!
Dream. Lightning. Make it rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alphen.
It's time to end this battle. More Sukals?
Keep calm and take them down.
Now!
Lightning Strike.
Swallow Blade!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem! In here! This one's mine!
You're mine!
Do it!
I think the enemy is getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't hit your hand, though.
As impressive as always.
Make it rain! Not much longer to go!
Come on, one final push.
Let's do this together!
You're mine! Swallow Blade! Strike! You're finished!
Look sharp! Seal!
You're mine! No escape! Fly! Ignite! Take it! Fly!
Make it rain! Into the fray! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it? Not by a long shot.
No escape!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Here I go!
My turn!
One more! Here goes!
You're on! You're mine! No escape! Stardust! Strike!
Do it! Reach
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! I think I'm getting stronger.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we...
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
I never miss!
Rising water!
This one's mine!
You're on! I'm not done! It's
That'll
time!
bring you down!
It's over!
Go in!
Swallow Blade!
Direct Blade!
You're on! Rising Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. You're really strong, Frozen. Frozen.
Hammer!
Nicely done.
All thanks to you.
In here.
Inferno crossing!
Ignite!
Make it rain!
Frozen.
Hammer!
Now! You're mine! Slash! Demon
Now.
Fang!
Ridwell!
Frozen.
Hammer!
I need to be stronger.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
No further! No escape! It's over!
See what I can do. These ones can run rings around us.
Swallow Blade! You
Make
picked
it
the wrong
rain!
fight!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Not a chance!
Prepare to be sealed!
Reload.
Prepare to be sealed!
Lightning raging at
sound is
me.
more
Now.
appropriate.
Xion, less talking, more. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble! Good to know my training is paying off. Yeah.
I've got a really bad feeling about this. Eat dirt. Hurricane. I never miss.
Going in.
Swallow Blade! Time to cross
Denied!
blades! Flaming thrust! I'm not done! Tear!
It's ready and fire!
Eat this! Slash! Sonic thrust!
I can carve
Through armor! No further! Try harder! My turn! Try harder! Not a chance!
Going in!
Sonic thrust! Demon Fang!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Swallow Blade! Demon Fang! Thanks! Demon Fang! This one's all mine!
Feast of foam!
Crush!
Demon Fang!
Xion, get toasty.
Bird Strike!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrecht 35 about it sometime.
Ah. I did a lot. Did some quests. Fun, get level up this thing. What for levels?
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Demon Fang! Ignite!
Take this!
Not feeling so hard.
Take it easy. You'll hurt yourself.
Sorry, didn't mean to make you worry.
I never miss.
Swallow Blade!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
In here.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
You're mine! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Demon Fang! Rising Warper!
Feast of foam! Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara!
Now! Take this! All disasters made one! Come forth, a healing obscurity! You're mine! Lightning! Aw, Demon Talk! Here, let me help! Demon Fang! Searing Flame! Lunar Arc! No further! Illuminate the dark! Lunar Corruption! Eternal! Anything in armor is all mine! Searing Flame! Denied! Not in your dreams! Swallow Blade! Let's keep up the pressure! You're mine! Burn in hell! Here, let me help! I can carve through armor! Sleep now! Swallow Blade! Time to shine! Let the marksman no handle further! This. Rising Falcon! Rising Lightning! Mirage! Flaming Meteor! Where are you going? Here I come! Rising Lightning! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same. The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen. Really bad feeling about this. Lunar Corruption!
You're finished!
Thunder Field!
Here I come!
Raging Destiny!
Fluid! The flame inside me! Yours! Burn in hell! My turn! Damn it!
Anything in order is all mine!
Here I come!
Ready for
I can carve through armor!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Lunar Corruption!
Piercing Raw!
Not much longer to go.
Come on.
Frozen!
Hammer!
Nicely done!
All thanks to you! Do it! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Bad feeling about this.
You want me? Come get me! Not today! Here I come! No escape!
Here's evil!
Rising Walker!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Swallow Blade!
That'll bring you down!
Swallow Blade! Pierce through! Demon Fang! It's on! It's over! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Pierce through! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! Now! Here I come! Mirage! Here I come!
Going in! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Wow! Look what I just found. Yeah.
up since coming here. And I'll